What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC UPenn's finest, and Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. Sorry for the delay. There's scheduling issues, but bound to happen when Danny goes to Los Angeles. So, but, you know, we still got a great episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the NFL draft wide receivers this year. Obviously, the big names, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, and Rome Odunze. And then, of course, we got to talk about some sleepers that we got. And then the bulk of the episode is going to be about our dream NBA playoff scenarios. And I think we have some surprising ones for you. And before we get started, of course, I want to give you guys a reminder. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening to this on audio platforms, please give a 5-star rating, like the episode, leave a download if you really enjoyed it. But, you know, without further ado, we can get right into Summits, Plummets, and we can just start right with Danny, who, like I said, is in California.
Yeah, that's part of the summit. Part of the next part, we're going to go see Lapuki versus the Greek Freak tomorrow night.
I don't know.
So
yeah, that's a summit if I've ever heard one.
I get to see two freaks go at it for 45 minutes. Actually, if I'm lucky, you're getting 20 minutes out of LeBron if you're lucky.
That's what she said.
Well, it's not going to be a back-to-back, so he should be good. He got extra rest last night. He went into the locker room 4 minutes early, so yeah, he'll have plenty of rest. Hopefully, you know, ham sandwich.
Sometimes you need a lot of rest after a back-to-back.
Well, then again, the Bucks did just get, you know, ran off the court by 10th seeded Golden State. Hiding under the cookie setting Golden State in the stand. That's the funniest beef on Twitter right now. It's just Warriors fans and Lakers fans fighting over the 9 and 10 seed. Like, it doesn't matter because you're gonna end up playing each other anyway. Like, oh, who gets home court? It doesn't matter. Both of your fans travel like no other. I would probably say Warriors fans, Lakers fans, Celtics fans probably travel the best. I would say
it's not even if they travel the best; they're everywhere.
Yeah, like literally. Bro, have you seen Lakers, bro? Clippers home game. Lakers fans travel super well. Why is that?
I don't know, dude.
But I would say, do you even have a plummet? Like, how could you have one? You were hiking in the desert yesterday, or what? Was that yesterday? 2 days ago?
Plummet. 2 days ago. I fell and landed on my knee. It was scary.
Bro,
I slipped on a rock. It was very scary. I cut it up.
How Drake hurts his knee, slips on a banana peel.
No, my bad knee.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I lost my pen. I'm just gonna have to record these timestamps later. But
that's scary. But
we can go to Chris.
Chris gonna say he dropped a 40-point triple-double in overtime last night.
Nah,
I wish.
Sadly, a plummet. His bones can't keep up.
Literally, sadly. Okay, I'm gonna start my plummet. Sadly, yesterday was the day I realized that 30 is not the new 20. I've been knew that, but my body knew it yesterday. It was like, well, surprise! You play on Monday, and then you play again a couple days later. I see how old people in the NBA feel. I need a couple days rest. I may need a mental health day for how my body felt. I don't know, but that's my plummet.
Kawhi day.
I do. I need a day.
Mental health days. Ben Simmons day is crazy.
I need a BS day. A Ben Simmons day, a BS day. Yeah, I'm going with that from now on. If I'm taking the day off work, I need a BS day.
A Ben Simmons day. Not even a bullshit day. Yeah, it's sad, bro, because it's probably just like a mental issue that is literally just nagging his entire body and his confidence. So, like, the injuries, I'm not saying he's bullshitting, but, like, you know, it's just like, it's going to seem that way. But, like, you know, he's probably just actually going through some stuff.
Mental. Yeah.
Yeah, like, the mentals affect the physical. It's like he feels like his back's not okay. Yeah. Like, because, you know, Danny the other day wanted to watch rookie Ben Simmons highlights. But he just moved different. And we were just saying this before the show. Not that AD has any mental health problems that we know of, at least. But, like, AD don't even move the same. But I think that's just because he got stronger and he's just more stiff now. Yeah, and he can't do a hezzy tween like he used to. So, but Summit though, you iced the game and had 30 points.
Yeah, that is big. That's part of my summit. That is part of my summit. And then the other part of my summit is I did get to watch LeBron score 40K. I was watching it on TV, not of course not in person, but I was watching it on TV, and it was just cool to see. Just another milestone for my favorite player. And then also too, that was something that even Darvin Ham couldn't mess up. So that's another reason why I was a summit. He had nothing to do with that, and he still should be most wanted for playing lineups that include Rui Hachimura and other people. But Rui, I also to another summit. I don't hate Rui anymore. I don't.
That's cool. That's good because you're gonna learn he has to be in that rotation or shit gets bad.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part because I realized I said to myself, Rui, Paul Casanat. I'm taking Rui all day. There's no way.
100%.
So yeah,
Torian Prince came out firing opening night, and that dude has not been the same since.
Bro,
I was like, if he can shoot around like 38, 40%,
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Nah, Rui's been exceptional lately. Especially with the corner threes. Getting his own off the dribble has never been a problem. Same with Austin Reeves, of course.
Yeah, you know what I should have done for my plummet?
What?
Tobias Harris, dude. Like he I know he dropped 2 games where he dropped damn near 30, but he went right back to his old self against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, number one option, Tobias Harris. How far is that getting you, man?
He number 2.
How far is that getting you?
Who
was the number one? Oh, wait. No, I'm saying last night because Maxey was out. Are you saying Buddy was the one?
Maxey might be the 3 on that lineup somehow. I mean, Tobias might be the 3 still. I don't know how, but he might.
Behind Kelly, behind Buddy. I could see it.
Behind Paul Reed probably too.
Hey, yo. Are you taking Jokic or prime Paul Reed? I love that.
Martian's got the death beam pointed at Earth. I'm taking Paul Reed.
I see the vision. I really do. I guess for my let's see, Summit, Plummet. Okay, I was gonna get on here and talk my shit. Actually, Celtics were on like a 11-game win streak. We're like, oh my god, we just bust the Warriors' ass by like 50. Yo, I'm actually gonna say this, Summit, yo. Dean Wade is a motherfucker, yo. Like he's got everything it takes to just ruin somebody's like championship hopes. Like he's got a Duncan Robinson, a Max Strus, Gabe Vincent feel to him. Because he just dropped a career high against the Celtics all in one quarter. Not a career high for a game in one quarter.
Yeah, he was
and then dropped 2 points. And then dropped 2 points the next night. He's got all the goods, dog. I'm telling you, he's gonna meet like he could do it to the Heat. He could do it to the Heat. He could do it.
So you know what he gonna matter the most is when the Cavs really need to put another shooter on the court and they don't want to, and it's hopefully not George Niang because he's cool, but minivan, no thanks. And he plays like the 3 at that point, and it's just like 7 foot, 6'10", and then you got the 2 little guards back there. That's gonna add an interesting dynamic. I think I'm looking forward to that lineup in the playoffs, like just for Spurs to see how that works.
Yeah, I guess you could say like Summit. My Summit would be the Cavs. Like, I mean, no D Wade. Whoa, I'm thinking of Dean Wade. I said no D Wade, and I'm thinking of a shooting guard. No Donovan Mitchell. Pretty sure Evan Mobley. I don't know if he left the game. I don't think he did, but he was injured. Later on, but he was at least playing. He was at least playing through that. He at least had to play on that. So there was that for him. Darius Garland wasn't shooting well, and Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade just showing out and winning. Like, it's a regular season game in March. It's not that big of a deal, but it is that big of a deal. Celtics were up 20, like 21 in the fourth quarter, and they were able to do that without their best player and their second best player playing absolutely horrible. So shout out to him. Plummet. I guess I would have to say I'll say double Summit because, like, you know, Danny's part of the crew, but Danny, you know, he really hit on that Orlando Magic pick. He said they were going to get the 5 seed, sitting at the 4 seed. It's not clinched. I'm not trying to celebrate too early, but Paolo looks like, and this like hurts my soul to say this, he looks like if Carmelo Anthony was a winning player. Like, this looks like it's gonna work. Like, how many I we'll call it real hoopers like end up really being the number one on a team and like it's working out. Like,
You know what's
there's
crazy? Chris's favorite player on that team is probably the worst one.
who are we talking about? Markel?
No, dude. His favorite drafted player, Anthony Black.
Oh,
Anthony Black. I mean, Anthony Black, he's got ways to go. I think playing with Jalen Suggs could actually show him.
I do like Anthony Black.
Jalen Suggs has his strengths, you know, like with the defense, the playmaking. I mean, you saw Jalen Suggs is completely transformed. He's almost a 40% 3-point shooter. That's perfect. Anthony Black will take his time, and he's bigger than Jalen Suggs. So like the defensive upside is definitely there. But it's good to see Paulo and Franz. It's like they kind of remind me, like, and this is going strictly off vibes, not play style, but vibes wise, it's like you have like an all-star, like borderline all-star, like, you know, with Paulo. So an all-star, and then you have like a pseudo all-star in Franz. It reminds me of Brandon Ingram and Zion. One of them's going to be a fringe all-star, borderline all-star, and the other's like kind of like the same way. And they're finding similar success. I love what's going on in Orlando. I'm super happy for them, super happy for Paulo. You know, once he starts getting that 3 ball together, then
Yeah.
look, and we're looking at something that doesn't grow on trees. A 6'10" guy with a handle who picks his spots. The defense doesn't really matter. He's gonna pick his spots. It's gonna get scary. It's really gonna get scary, and I hate that he doesn't really get the attention he deserves. Because, like I just said, 6'10", 3-level scorers do not grow on trees. They don't. It seems like the new norm, but it's not.
Jones. He's the Quintoris Lopez Jones of our era. I'm afraid.
Oh, he's the COJ of our era. I was just gonna say he was the winning Melo, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sounds like we all had a pretty good week, in my opinion. But we're gonna divvy off the NBA.
I thought your plummet was gonna be that the Eagles have rumored to get Saquon Barkley, and that means that Jalen Hurts is gonna get the "you're carried" rumors starting up soon.
Look, dog, I'm not worried about that because I know that team can't operate without Jalen Hurts. Take Jalen Hurts off that offense.
We've seen it happen. That offense goes to kaputs once he leaves.
Imagine that offense last year without Jalen Hurts. They're winning 6 games. Now we're going to be talking about the 2024 NFL draft class of wide receivers. There's obviously an upper echelon of guys that the media has deemed the top 3, that being Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr., Washington's Rome Odunze, and LSU's Malik Nabers. You know, we're just going to take a moment talking about what we like from each of these guys, what's their ceiling. We can start with Marvin Harrison Jr., who seems to be the consensus wide receiver 1 in this class. I know there's some people trying to push this 1A, 1B thing with him and Nabers. Let's cut the crap. Marvin Harrison Jr. Here's the thing. In my opinion, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in this class. If I were to, you lay out all these prospects and you had to say, pick one guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame first ballot, I'm picking Marvin Harrison Jr. The fact that the worst aspect of his game is after the catch is like that just speaks volume to everything else he has going on. He can win the jump ball. He can beat you at the line, at the top of the route. He's going to eventually lose you and create that separation so that he can catch it and get more yards after. The ability to catch the ball on the sideline with the, you know, the awareness that he has on the field, everything combines for him to be great. And his name could be Sam Jones. He could be named after Celtics legend Sam Jones. This is the best player in the class. Like, regardless of name, this kid can ball. And to be quite honest, I think he's going to be much better than Dad. I think we're looking like at an all-time great wide receiver. I love every single aspect of his game. And I think everything's going to translate. To really put things into perspective, this dude was like, had a real, in my opinion, a real Heisman campaign with Kyle McCord at quarterback. I think that's going to speak volumes. Imagine with him with an NFL quarterback next year. I think his rookie year, I think he's coming for all the rookie records. I really do. I think he's coming for everything. So I'm super excited. I hope he gets drafted to a good scenario. I think anything will work. New England will work. I mean, Mac Jones, we've seen him when he has decent weapons. He's a decent quarterback. You give him Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a lot more than decent. So that's just my spiel on him. I probably took all the words. So I just want to ask around, like, where do y'all want to see Marvin Harrison go, or where do you think he's going to go at least?
I think he goes to the Cardinals
Go ahead.
if he gets past the Patriots. I think he goes to the Cardinals.
Yeah. So
and
Patriots
that's
take
probably-
Daniels. You got
No, I think the Patriots might take JJ McCarthy.
well,
I
if they
think
dodge a quarterback, then,
people-
or if they take a quarterback in general.
Dude, I don't understand why Drake May is like projected to be falling in mock drafts. Maybe they know something I don't know about him. Maybe they think that like he's committed war crimes on like the Middle East, or I don't know. But like, Drake May is objectively the second best player in this draft as a quarterback. And there are 5 quarterback needy teams at the top of the draft, and people are just like, no, let's just not get him. But so Marvin Harrison, though, he is the best player in this draft class. I think he's better than Caleb Williams. I think he's better than anyone else in the class.
Yep,
what Marv brings to the Cardinals is he elevates their offense from this. And you don't realize the Cardinals were 10 to 15 in all of their offensive rankings with Kyler Murray back at the helm. Kyler Murray and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr., they draft a running back in the second or third round, or maybe even sign Josh Jacobs type of guy. And Jonathan Gannon has his team on the edge of the playoffs. So,
yeah, I absolutely agree. Especially with the thing you said with Kyler in there. Who was their number one wide receiver? Not including side ends. Like number one wide receiver. Michael Wilson, Hollywood Brown, Michael Wilson. You're legit
Hollywood
running
Brown
out
and Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's a crew. That's a good top 2 in my opinion. So I would say, Chris. So I would say, do you agree on like if he goes to Arizona's probably the best fit?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite spot for him. Yeah, basically what Danny said. Like I think it's looking like the Bears are going to trade out of one, possibly. Of course, if the Bears didn't, if they were to keep Fields and not go to Caleb Williams route, I would love to see him with the Bears. With him and DJ Moore, I feel like that's as lit as Brown and Harrison Jr. would be, maybe a little better. But yeah, I think for right now, I think it's just with the Cardinals. Just look at how it might shape out. Just the Cardinals probably be my favorite one.
I mean, if I'm the Bears though, I'm just trading. I'm trading back with the Commanders, saying you want Caleb, come get him. Give me a few first,
gonna want him,
and then you can get whoever the hell you wanted to. You can get Marv. You can trade back a couple picks and get Marv.
Could get Drake May and then use that 9 pick to come up, get Marv. It's so many options. You have so much capital. Just use it. Like, it is time. I think the Bears are a lot closer than they think. Like, I think if you
Tyson
draft
Badgett won them games. Tyson Badgett.
Like you draft Caleb Williams and you trade up, and a bunch of people have been talking about this, but it makes so much sense. You trade up, get Nabers or get Rome. Like, now you got DJ Moore. You got one of the solidified 3 best receivers in this class. You got an amazing quarterback on his rookie deal who's going to come in and probably be good right out the gate. I know it seems like he's not good at the little stuff. He is. Please go watch some USC film. That offense, you would have thought Brian Johnson had the headset. My God, it was so bad. There was no structure in that USC offense. That's why he looks like he can't play in structure, because there was no structure. Watch the Oklahoma film. The structure's there. He's awesome, and he was like 20.
You better hope that Caleb doesn't go to the Commanders, same colors as USC, by the way, who has Brian Johnson and Cliff Kingsbury, his offensive coordinator at USC. So you better hope he doesn't go there.
I would prefer him in Chicago. I know him having DJ Moore out the gate would be awesome. So,
I mean,
but yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Terry and Zach Ertz aren't horrible. Zach Ertz is old with balls. But.
Zach Ertz, Klay Thompson. Zach Ertz is
future Ravens legend Michael Thomas.
Nah, he's Eagles legend. I just said on Twitter, I was like, Kellen Moore can fix him.
I literally just tweeted Ravens, and I tweeted in the picture, and I put the little Timberland gif, him looking like this.
Oh, yeah.
What y'all think? Yeah,
That's the funniest GIF ever.
my
He said.
favorite.
So I guess the next question I want to ask, because a lot of people thinks it comes down to with Rome and Nabers, it's about preference. You want like a quick, twitchy guy that can do stuff after the catch, is an exceptional route runner. You want Nabers. If you want someone who's going to be big, physical, win at the catch, Mike Williams-esque guy, you want Rome. Who would y'all prefer? I personally, I would rather have Malik Nabers. I think I value separation after the catch a little bit more than winning the 50-50 ball, which there's no wrong. Like, if you prefer the 50-50 ball, have at it. Me personally, if I want a franchise guy, I want him to be able to dominate at every aspect of the, he's not like an exceptional jump ball guy like, Odunze is, but I mean, he dominates everywhere else. So, I don't know. But y'all thoughts. Who would y'all rather have? Where do you rank at? Between those two, at least, who do you have ranked higher?
Yeah, this is where it gets a little hot for me. So I think that there's a consensus top 4. I don't think there's a consensus top 3.
Well, have it. Yeah. Talk to us.
I think that Ladd McConkey is the 3rd best receiver in this class. And you guys will see wherever he gets drafted, whether it be the Chiefs, whether it be the Bills, whether it be the Steelers, whether it be the Eagles. This dude, Eagles love Georgia players, by the way, so they might take him at 22. Ladd McConkey is, they see some sneaky athletic white slot receiver. He ran a 4.39. He has the same exact athletic measurables as Garrett Wilson. No one questions Garrett Wilson's athletic measurables, but because he's a slot receiver that's white, and guess what? Ladd McConkey, separation ability is the top of the class. He might be one of the best route runners I've ever seen. I think Ladd McConkey is going to come in and make an immediate impact and be a 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL. Year 1.
You know where? Because I think because of Cooper Kupp, I think a lot of people last year, you saw it with the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb lined up so much more in the slot. Because, like, at this point, let's just take advantage of it. Like, wide receivers, well, we don't care whether we're getting it from the outside. Like, it's almost like in basketball where people is like, all right, ignoring mano, I'm gonna go attack the best defender. No, I'm gonna take this switch. I'm gonna get my bucket. It's like the wide receivers. We're gonna go to the slot and we're gonna get what's ours. So I think there's a place in this league, for McConkey, because they're valuing the slot receiver a little bit more on these top end teams.
If you watch Georgia, their offense ran through McConkey. Their offense
and
ran
especially in the
Brock
weeks that Bowers was out. Yep. Yeah, he was awesome.
And don't sleep on. There's another tight end that might be better than Bowers. I believe he's a freshman. Oscar Delp coming up.
Oh, so you said he's a freshman. I was like, okay. I was like, in this draft, no way. In this draft, no way. But there could be a guy coming up soon.
He's a Georgia tight end. He played behind him. They just spawn tight ends. They're tight end U. I'm gonna call that now.
They're tight end U now. You know who's not tight end U? Ohio State. God bless their tight ends. They get no work because of those receivers.
Caden Stover is gonna be good.
It's kind of like the Sam Laporta issue with Iowa, where it's like he just doesn't get the ball thrown to him, but like he's nice.
Did Caden Stover play with Justin Fields?
I think
his name is ringing a bell. I don't know why.
I think so. I'm not sure. But let's get back to the topic at hand. So you actually think it's Harrison, Nabers, McConkey, and then
no, I think it's Harrison, Odunze, McConkey, Nabers. I think Nabers.
Interesting. Yeah, spiel on Nabers real quick. What do you think about him?
I think Nabers is a very good player. I think he's like the Zay Flowers of the draft, though. I think he's closer to the Zay Flowers than he is to a like legit receiver 1. And that's not a knock on Zay Flowers. I think he's like a get the ball, make something happen type of player versus what the other players can do. I think Marv is like a Justin Jefferson's archetype.
Okay. I see where you're coming from on that one. Of course, I do disagree because I literally started this topic saying by like I think there's a top 3 receivers. They're the class of this draft, and but I do respect that. I do respect that. Not a lot of people would come out and say that like flat out. But I definitely respect it.
I will
like
say
Chris,
this.
I was
This is the best. This is
go
the
ahead.
best receiver class that I've seen, probably since Jetta's and Chase. And
Well, they weren't. Are you?
I know,
Because
I
they
know.
weren't in the
I'm
same
saying like
class.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
Like
like
over a 2-year span, or
over a 2 year span, this is like the because this year and last year is
I would say if you think
it's really
about
good.
that 2020 to 2021 span, Judy, Ruggs, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, all really coming from the same universities too. So yeah, it was loaded. I'll say I'll swing to Chris to talk about Nabers and Odunze. So let's say Cardinals. Let's say Harrison somehow goes to the Cardinals. He drops the 4, he goes to the Cardinals. Chargers are on the clock. Who would you take? Would you take Nabers, the quick twitch? It's like it's so weird because they have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. My comp for these two guys are Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Who would you go with? Do you go with the quick twitchy yards after catch guy, or do you go with the 50-50 guy? Because you kind of got to think for Justin Herbert here, what would he want? But I don't know. Who would you draft in that situation if you're
Hey,
Los Angeles?
they just took another Mike Williams variant, and it's not looking that good. So I think they go the other way.
You did not just call Quentin Johnston a Mike Williams variant. You're going to sit here after this. You're going to post a 10-minute public apology to Mike Williams. Don't
That's
you
what
ever.
they thought he
That
was.
man is
That's
one
what
of
they
the
thought
best jump ball receivers in the game when he is healthy. That dude
I
comes down
know,
with
but guess what?
everything. Everything hard, at least.
They
Anything that's
thought
easy, he's dropping it.
they thought that Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, was just going to come in and replace Mike Williams. He's a cut candidate. He's also a very big cut candidate.
Cut him, he's a bum. Cut him, he's a bum. Bring someone else in. But
No.
back to Chris.
I'm talking about Mike Williams. Mike
Well,
Williams is
no,
a cut
he's going to
candidate.
get cut because he gets paid like $20 million. And
Yeah.
he's never on the field. It's not a play. The dude's good. It's just he's never healthy. I had him on my fantasy team. Trust me, I know. Dude can play. Just can't stay healthy. But
He can't
we'll
play,
sing it
but
to
he can
someone else
play,
who also deals with fantasy injuries and needs a big game in fantasy basketball tonight from my boy. Chris, if you're the Chargers at 5, who are you drafting there? Nabers or Rome?
I'm taking Rome Odunze 100%. I think because in my opinion, I think it's MHJ, Rome, Nabers, Coleman, McConkey. That's my top 5. I had to put it. I like McConkey too, DC. But yeah, I think honestly, I'm going for Odunze because I think he's just a playmaker, bro. And from what I've seen, and I think he made Michael Penix look a little better than he actually is, in my opinion. I think sometimes you gave him a lot of jump balls. You gave him some chance where it's like a 50-50 ball, and it's like, okay, Penix threw a 50-yard pass, but really, he just threw like some BS up there, and Rome came down with it. So, like, in my opinion, I think the more players you have like that, especially with elite quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, just give him more weapons. And Danny already mentioned that Mike Williams might be a cut candidate. I'm going to get Odunze. And I know you get Odunze in the room with Keenan Allen and you can learn from him. Keenan Allen's really dope, in my opinion. I think he's so underrated. But I think you get them two together. I think Rome could blossom and be not MHJ good, but second coming and literally be like the second wide receiver 2 in his class. So, yeah, that's my pick.
I love that. Yeah, and I like that you brought up the point. Yeah, if the Chargers are going to cut Mike Williams, hey, you're going to want a 50-50 guy. So,
Quinn Johnson is a bowl game merchant. He tricked us. He tricked me. But I don't trick y'all. He tricked me.
No, I won't say he tricked you alone. I thought he was boom or bust. I just didn't think it would take
20 minutes,
10 games to figure it out that he's just not going to be good. Like, I did not think it would just take this fast. He's a bona fide scrub. Like, oh my gosh. Except I would not let Danny slide. He had him wide receiver 1. I remember. I write down everything. I remember.
Get ready for year 2. Get ready for your two.
Get ready for. Oh no! Hey man, stick to the bit. I trust you. After what you said about the Magic, you got some stripes in my humble opinion right now. Okay, so Danny kind of went in on.
Okay, ready? When Quentin Johnston gets his theme song, we all gonna be vibing to it. Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, no, he's not getting that.
Oh,
No, he's gonna have a UFL intro. This time next year, Quentin Johnson is gonna be balling out for the Birmingham Stallions.
Just like Johnny Manziel making his comeback.
Nah, actually. I do have a favorite UFL team. It's not the Philadelphia Stars because I wasn't getting good vibes from them. St. Louis Battlehawks. That's my team. They had AJ McCarron last year. They weren't the best team in the league, but like they were giving them a run for their money. I was messing with it. And Tatum from St. Louis. So, but we could talk about. I say Danny kind of went in on a sleeper. Chris, talk to us about your sleeper, Keon Coleman, wide receiver, Florida State.
Legend.
I love him too.
I'm calling it now. Legend. Keon Coleman, legend. And I'm gonna tell you why I like Keon Coleman so much. For some reason, y'all, when Rashad Bateman was coming out of college, I read somewhere that he was 6'3". I don't know where I read it, but I read somewhere that he was 6'3". And he's just not. But Keon Coleman is all of, I want to say 6'4", right? 6'4", 215, something like that.
Something like that. He's a freak.
He's a freak. Beast. He's a beast of a build. His build is just like he's built like a elite, like terrifying receiver. And I think he can be that in the offense that the Ravens are moving towards, like with a run heavy offense that I don't even want to say that word because you know what happened in the playoffs. But anyway, in a run heavy offense, as usually we do, a big playmaking receiver like that, that's all I've been asking for. That's why I was praying on Mike Evans to not get signed back or praying on freaking Michael Thomas. Anything, a bigger receiver. I think that's what Lamar has never had for real. And I talked to y'all about this on the show. Anquan Bolden is my favorite Ravens wide receiver of all time because he made it easier. Just basically you have a security blanket at wide receiver like you do a tight end. So it's like I think Keon Coleman could be that type of guy for Lamar. So I'm a huge fan of what his measurables bring to the table alongside of Zay Flowers and have them grow together. I think that'd be beautiful because then you have like the thunder and lightning type of thing. But Keon Coleman is such a good athlete; he can get down the field and do everything that wide receiver 1 and 2 in his class, that projected wide receiver 1 and 2 in his class can do. In my opinion, maybe not as good, but he can do those things. And I think with a special quarterback like Lamar at that place, or even any special quarterback, not even just for the Ravens, any special quarterback, I think Keon Coleman can unlock and be at a new level just because of, like I said, athletes like that, unless they're just bust, I think they have a chance to be productive at the very least. So I think Keon Coleman's my sleeper because I think at the end of the day, you got crazy potential here, but his floor is still high too. Like he can still be very productive even if he's not your wide receiver 1. So
yeah,
agreed.
Yo, you know what's crazy though? His teammate at Florida State, Johnny Wilson, who's built like LaMelo Ball, 6'7", 220. I might be even heavier.
Yeah, dude,
6'7".
Dude,
he ran a 4.53.
Scary stuff, dude. Scary stuff, Ben.
Like, if you teach him how to run some crispy routes, this dude could be like
it's a little hard when you're that tall.
Harold Carmichael is his comp.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get in and out of your breaks at that height. It's very difficult. So I would say with Coleman, a lot of people would kind of just want to like get in over, like super big athletic guy. He's just Quentin Johnston. It's not going to work. Well, no, Quentin Johnston didn't work because y'all drafted him in the first round. Keon Coleman, let's say you draft him late
early second,
third,
maybe
even day 3. Fine. He doesn't have a 5th-year option. He's a lot cheaper, and you're not drafting him to be your wide receiver 1. You're drafting him to be a 2, a 3. Has one ceiling, has a wide receiver 1 ceiling, in my opinion. I absolutely agree. He's just far less worth the risk than Quentin Johnson, and that's just lazy. Like, they're different players. Like they have the same archetype, don't get me wrong, but like Carmelo Anthony and Tobias Harris have the same archetype as well. They're not the same player. So that's just an analogy. I'm not saying Keon Coleman's going to be Carmelo Anthony. What a weird comparison. But
hey, but
no,
Tony,
I love the points there.
You got me right there because it's one person I say this all the time. Like people talk about like LeBron, Melo, like, oh, they're this big, they're supposed to be this good. I tell them all the time. Have you looked at Josh Smith's measurables? And Josh Smith was really good for what he does. Same size as LeBron James, same exact size. nimble, fast. It's just sometimes a difference. And I think that's kind of how I feel about Johnson. Like Johnson's like legitimately, he's gonna either be elite or like Tone said, dog. And he's proven to be on the other side right now. So I think that brought that point up to me because people say that all the time about archetypes. It's like, bro, archetypes is one thing, build is one thing, but how the player plays is totally different.
Yeah, shout out Jay Smooth though, man. Shout out Josh Smith, man. He was nice. You
Yep.
know, it was another person when the Celtics got Jay Crowder. I was like, he's big, strong. Yo, he could guard LeBron for us.
He tried his best, man.
Dumbass.
He tried his best.
I thought 7th seed Celtics, led by 6-man Isaiah Thomas. I was like, oh yeah, we about to upset the Kyrie LeBron Cavs in the first round. I didn't make it past halftime of a single game. So yeah, there's that. I would say my sleeper. I'll keep rambling with my sleeper. Roman Wilson. He's got everything for me to be just a super productive slot receiver. I love how smooth he is off the line. His yards after catch is good. Manny, who we had on last week, I think gave a perfect comparison. He reminds me a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, Amon-Ra's come on the scene and has been one of the best receivers in the league. And in my opinion, he's top 5. Amon-Ra's top 5 in my opinion. Can Roman Wilson be top 5 out of the gate? I don't know about that. But he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be really good. He gets open. He is really physical as a receiver, blocking after the catch. He's just a guy. He just wants to get dirty. I love a receiver who wants to get his hands dirty. If you're a receiver and you don't want to get your hands dirty, football's not a sport for you, fam. So, yeah, that's absolutely my sleeper as we welcome Danny back in, who is having some Wi-Fi issues. No problem at all. He told us keep things running, so I just rambled about Roman Wilson. Danny knows how I feel about Roman Wilson, so he didn't miss much about that. Super physical guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown archetype, in my opinion. Do we have any other receivers that we wanted to talk about? I know we're a big Xavier Legette fan club over here. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I don't. Yeah, because I remember who were we having name issues with last year? I can't remember who we were having name issues with last year. It was Devon A-Chain. That's who he was. I didn't know how to pronounce his name because I'm not watching announcers, I'm just watching the film. So I don't know. But Xavier Legette, another one of those. Apparently didn't measure in height-wise what he was supposed to, but it doesn't matter because he still plays like that size. So
deep sleeper.
We're talking like day 3.
The GOAT's son.
Brendan Rice.
He's good. He's
Talk to us. What round do you think you could see him fall? What role could he play on a team?
I think he'd be a wide receiver going in the 4th or 5th round.
Okay.
I think whoever gets Caleb Williams might try to draft him. They have a lot of connection history. I think they're friends. I think they're close. He's going to be cheap, taking him in the 5th or 6th round, 4th, 5th, 6th round. So I think he has the upside of his dad is the best guy to ever play football. So
yeah, I would say hard to say that he'll be just as good as that guy. Something about USC and having their dads as the GOAT is pretty weird. No, Brendan Rice was one of the few, and I mean few, bright spots on that offense outside of Caleb Williams. So yeah, I love that. I mean, if you're a team that drafts Caleb Williams, Caleb's gonna be in your ear. Don't force it. Don't draft my man with your next pick. But day 3, it's yo, we got Terry, we got Curtis Samuel. I don't know if Curtis Samuel's gonna be out or not, but we got Terry.
Yo,
let's bring in my guy.
Can you believe that Jordan Addison really got to play with 2 GOATs at quarterback? Caleb Williams and Kenny Pickett.
All right. I've had enough NFL for today. Let's talk about the NBA. We're going to be transitioning to the NBA. Dream NBA playoff scenarios. I feel like every time we do these things, we start out east, so let's start out west. So just clarification. Playoff scenarios. The play-in is going to be a banger. I don't need to fantasize. It's going to be a banger, regardless. I
He
think right now,
fantasizes every day about it.
Yeah, don't get me salivating and fantasizing, but because you're going to have Bron versus Curry, you're going to have like KD versus Luka, just to get into the damn thing, just to get into the playoffs. And then once they get into the playoffs, anything happens. So I guess when you say your playoff scenario, like if you say, Lakers and Wolves round 1, for example, you're just assuming the Lakers won 2 straight playing games and they got the 8th. That's what I'll assume. Just say like the names of the teams and what seed they're going to be. I want to start with Chris, though, because the Lakers and Warriors are like the super fearful play-in teams. Like, they get the 8th seed. They're going to get a young squad. The Lakers specifically could crush Oklahoma City because Anthony Davis could be a huge, huge rebounding problem. Now, I'm not saying OKC don't got dogs. They're favored to win that series. Don't get me wrong, but, that's just one hypothetical I'm kind of spilling. But, Chris, what's the dream? And we'll probably talk about a couple, but what's like the number one Western Conference NBA playoff scenario? I need this.
Yeah, like first round for sure.
We'll just talk first round because everything past that is we'll just talk first round.
Up in the air. Yeah, I think for me personally, I would love to see Warriors get the Timberwolves. I was going to say Oklahoma City and LA because I think that's the LA's best chance of getting to the second round. But I want to see Timberwolves Warriors, especially with the news of Cat's torn meniscus and with Anthony Edwards saying that he wanted to see the Warriors because he wanted to beat the best. I think that would be just a lit matchup. And then it's just a matchup of styles. Are y'all gonna play Gobert off the floor now that Towns probably won't be playing? It's gonna be hard to play him off because Timberwolves gonna have him in. Naz Reid's gonna be a big problem for the Warriors, in my opinion, because that small lineup you have. Yeah, I told people about Naz when he was in high school in New Jersey when he was playing with Javon Cornelly. I told people about him 5 years ago, so I'm happy and finally he's getting his love. But like guys like that, Jaden McDaniels, who now you can put on a Steph, because Clay, you don't have to waste your time with Clay or any of that. So now it's just like the matchups are cool to me. I think it's a cool matchup. I want to see how Draymond plays in this situation where he's been playing center. I'm sure Looney will get minutes because Rudy Gobert's there. I get that, but I just think it's like it would be a dream matchup because I would want to see how both sides match against each other. Like, how do the cross matchups work? How do the Timberwolves try to pick on Steph like every other team does? Like how do you do that in that situation, especially losing a guy like Towns and the Warriors kind of losing Klay Thompson to age and injuries? Not losing him, but you know what I'm saying? He's not the same guy he was. And I don't know how around Wiggs is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a lot of uncertainty in that type of matchup to where I think it'd be really, really cool to see those teams battle out for 7 games.
I like that. What I don't like is Anthony Edwards has a Jimmy Butler tendency. Not every quote you say is going to be a banger, man. You want to beat the best. The 10 seed Warriors are the best. Just because they were a dynasty 5 years ago, they're not the best no more, man. That would be like LeBron in 2003 when he got drafted. It's like, I want to come in. I'm trying to beat the Bulls in the finals. You got to beat the best. Man, even if they kept that team together, by that point, Michael Jordan would be getting an inefficient 25 while Scottie Pippen will be averaging triple singles. But whatever. Yeah, he needs to stop banging on.
The dialogue behind MJ is crazy recently. They said he is a...
We done with the 90s.
He is a Jaylen Brown with aura merchant.
Or Jaylen Brown has more aura. Hot take. The Celtics camera crew. The Celtics camera
That's
best one in the game. Best one in the game.
Best in the world, dude. The guy who did it. I don't know.
The Phillies might be better.
Name. The Phillies? No. Get the fuck out. Did you see I don't know his last name. His name's Gage, though. He's a 20-year-old video editor who did the video for Sunday. Dude, he's special, man. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
my point is him and Brett Hampton. Hampton does a lot of the photography stuff. He gives Celtics players that aura, bro. I promise you. Give Gage and Brett one game to focus on Sam Hauser. The aura is gonna be crazy. But
I'm telling y'all, it's between them two, Link the World and J Squared, like Denzel Russell's guy, his camera guy. that is creating aura too. That if you ever go to D'Angelo Russell page and watch just watch a video, you'd be like, is D'Angelo Russell the top 2 player in the NBA? Like you would think that. Like looking at these highlights, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but these NBA players like Brett Hampton, I'm pretty sure was just a regular photographer, and I think Jason Tatum saw some of his work and he was like, yo, like come do a game. Like come do a game for me. And he's good. And now he's with the Celtics. And now he's actually Tatum's, I guess, official black SUV sender. Because
Official guy,
anytime there's a picture of Tatum and LMA, Brett Hampton says, yo, DM me. That shit down in an hour. Nah, he's tough for that. But back on schedule. Danny, did you want to go next? What's your dream playoff scenario in the first round out west? Chris got Warriors, Wolves.
I really want to see the Nuggets play the Pelicans.
Okay.
I think the Pelicans can beat the Nuggets.
Define. Why? How at least? I'm not completely ruling it out, but I'm curious.
Yeah, so it's gonna sound crazy. I don't think anyone actually probably sees this. This team, if the Pelicans are healthy, they match up with the Nuggets very, very well, in my opinion. They got 2 scorers. We saw how well the Lakers, the Pelicans are like a pseudo Lakers. They're 2 big players who run the team. And outside of that, they got a bunch of role players. And that's really what the Nuggets do. They got their 2 players and they got a bunch of role players. And I think that the Pelicans can go ahead, ball for ball and beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. So I think that this is going to be a 7-game series, though.
I see where you're coming from. I'm inclined to disagree because Brandon Ingram, one of the best bucket getters in the game, he ain't out shooting Jamal Murray. And then I don't even want to get started on what Jokic is going to do to Valanciunas. But I do like the point. They have they have respectable depth, like really good depth. And I think the game changer there, it's no secret. Herb Jones is going to put Jamal Murray in hell. So, it's a matter of who's going to guard Jokic. Unfortunately, no one. There's not enough bodies to go around.
Zion.
You asked Michael Porter, you're gonna have to be our second scoring option outside of Jokic. He's got you. This is one of the most lethal shooters in the NBA.
And it opens up the game for Aaron Gordon a lot too. I think Aaron Gordon would eat because the way especially the way the Pelicans been playing, and I love Trey Murphy a lot. I think Trey Murphy's really, really good,
Tough.
really good wing. Him and Herb Jones are the perfect wings to have next to Zion. I think they're perfect. But only problem with that is Aaron Gordon plays real strong, and he plays way tougher than a lot of people think. So I think he will give them a little bit of trouble. But with what Danny said, I think that's an interesting matchup because it's again a matchup of styles almost again. Because like Danny said, they do play through their 2 players, but they do it totally different. Like it just looks way different. So I think that would be really cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, and not to say that Zion and BI are a bad duo. Like it's not that they don't complement each other's game.
They just do it differently.
But it's like their game kind of don't need the other one, and they don't get in each other's way, though. It's like Brandon Ingram, I'm going to get to my spot, I'm going to do my thing. Zion Williamson, I'm going to look like a Mack truck going to the rim. No one can stop me. He doesn't get nearly as many free throws as he should. He really needs to start, I don't know, get aggressive. Like he has games where he's super aggressive and he's getting to the rim at will, but I don't know. When he takes over, it's the fact that he's 6'7" and does things that only Giannis can do. I don't know. Appeal to do more of it. You're big. You're gonna get fouled more. I think he averages 6 free throws a game, somewhere around there. But yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I don't think anyone else would say that. The Pelicans are in no man's land. They're super weird. Not no man's land. I don't want to say that. They're a good team, but that's an interesting one. I guess for me, out west. My dream playoff scenario, it'll be hard to come across this. It would be Clippers Suns. My reason for this is I have the same fears for both teams. Your top 3, lethal when you're healthy. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden versus Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. That is like beautiful. Who the hell is going to step up? Because those three guys are going to cancel each other out. Who's going to step up? We
On the
know
bench
who's going to
guard,
step up.
Russell Westbrook.
Trey
You got
Man.
you got Russell Westbrook. You got Norman Powell. They're going to come off the bench, do their thing.
Big Terrence. Nurkic
Terrence is pushing 30, dog. Terrence is pushing 30, and he's living off cooking Rudy Gobert like 5 years ago.
For 39 points.
Funny thing, I saw Terrence Mann in a casino in Miami.
He probably was gambling that contract away.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, the Clippers, they got Westbrook and Powell coming off the bench, which I cannot express enough how much of a luxury Norman Powell is. Like, just comes in, balls. Like, he's super good. And then for the Suns, this would kind of be the question going into the year. Who's going to step up? Grayson Allen, been a pleasant surprise. Great 3-a-D guy. He's had like several 20-point games. Like, he's been really, really good. Mind you, a lot of that is because one of the big three is out every single night. One of them will be out. They just don't play together that much. And then, yeah, who going to win the mid-off at center? Is it going to be Zubac and Tice? Or is it going to be Nurkic and Bobo?
Respect Bosnian legend Nurkic. Respect him.
Nurkic?
Going to put Zubac in a 31 rebound game. Nurkic is going to put Zubac in a penitentiary.
As someone who's been watching this league for a long time, those are Andre Drummond rebounds. They're nothing.
But you know who's going to be the real? You know who's going to be the real deal, Tone. In that, I think that we didn't say. I think Mason Plumlee will play a big role in that series, especially if they want to bring Nurkic away from the rim to have Kawhi get more boards, have PG get more boards, because now they kind of use Plumlee as like a hub to an extent, sometimes kind of move him out, and that's better for Nurkic because Nurkic, even though his defense isn't great, he's still the center of their defense. So I think that's what made them kind of dangerous last year, even though the Kawhi ended up getting hurt, to just moving him out of the paint a little bit. So I'd be surprised. I think Tyson Plumlee will probably be the matchup more than Zoo because you want to, kind of have him out of the way unless Ball's in the game. So I think that's one thing to think about too.
Underrated aspect. I can't express this enough, and maybe this is just the Celtics fan in me talking. Man, Daniel Tice could really change the aspect of the Clippers. He isn't the world's most phenomenal defender. I know that. He was the starting center on a 2020 Celtics team, and he was getting worked by Bam Adebayo for a good 6 games. So I understand, but offensively, he can shoot a mid-range. He can shoot a corner 3 if need be. I watched him do it before. But on defense, he's a body. And he's someone who's going to contest every shot. That's important in the playoffs. Even the contest at the rim on Devin Booker, on Kevin Durant, make him at least be inefficient. If you can get Kevin Durant inefficient, if you can get Devin Booker inefficient, you got Kawhi Leonard on your team. He going to take you home. And I kind of need this for last year, because last year they came out and they won game 1, and game 2, Kawhi gave him a run for the money, tore his meniscus. Now, hopefully they get in there healthy. You got James Harden now. I need get back for getting laughed at for saying that they would win 1 game. I need it. And actually, I would pick the Clippers to win that series, which isn't hot by any means. I mean, there's a reason they're higher in the standings right now. So, yeah, do we have any other West ones we want to talk about before going to the East? Because, look, the West is amazing. So, if anyone has a second one. Okay.
I would love to see the Mavs in the playoffs and see Luka and Kyrie do their thing against anybody.
Well,
and
yeah, I would love them to make the playoffs too.
It looks like it would be playing Anthony Edwards if that's the case. And if that's the case, I think they can beat them without a legitimate center, without Cat. If he's out, I think they could beat them.
Well, Rudy is a monster.
I mean, without that scoring option on offense, at least Rudy's gonna. But
True.
Rudy's not going to prevent Luka and Kyrie from scoring that well. They're
prevent them away from the rim.
From the rim, but
yeah, the most efficient shot in basketball, the layup. Mm-hmm.
Then Naz Reid takes over and becomes who we thought he was. That's all it is.
Come on,
Derek Jones.
And then you're going to have
Derek playoff run.
Not saying Edwards is a tier 1 defender, but he tries on that end, and he's going to get whoever McDaniels doesn't want. McDaniels is probably going to guard Luka. And look, they're going to try to screen their life away. That doesn't work on the Timberwolves because everybody can guard. I mean, unless you get like Mike Conley squared up with like Luka, there's an obvious size advantage, but that's why you have Rudy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say having Gafford, who's only been playing 10 minutes a game, maybe I'm just a casual, or maybe that's just Jason Kidd being an international terrorist.
Literally.
Okay, so he's out of the rotation for no reason.
Bro, like what they'll do, they'll start Lively, and for some strange reason, Jason Kidd has a love affair with Maxi Kleber, and he just throws him in at center for some fucking reason. I have no clue. And then Gafford gets in, plays the last 3 minutes of each quarter, except for the fourth, and he ends the game with 8 and 8. So I just don't understand why he doesn't want to play a traditional big.
And there's no problem with starting Lively. Lively is awesome.
Right, yeah, I'm with that too. But you play them too.
Then your next big should be Gafford. So
and the right Powell should never see the floor. It should never be Lively, Kleber, Powell. That should never be your big rotation, especially if you're only playing one. It should never be that. And before we leave this Mavs conversation, I do want to say, shout out to PA legend Derrick Jones Jr. because when I went to go see them warm up, he was doing dunk contest dunks just out of nowhere. Like he was shooting around, like doing form shooting. Then like somebody come out of nowhere, he just catch it, bounce it, go between the legs, and he was just wilding. So shout out to Derrick Jones put on a show before the game. Shout out to Derrick.
Telling you, man, I remember his first ever dunk contest. Reggie Miller put it perfectly: the best dunker you've never heard of. Yep. I promise you, if he can do his dunks on first attempt, he is a good shot to beat anybody in a dunk contest. Yep. Like currently in the league, like he.
Yep.
That's another thing. It's like. Oh, it just makes me so mad because no one ever talks about how he beat Aaron Gordon in a dunk contest. Yep. It's like, oh, Aaron Gordon got robbed. No, you pushed off on Taco Fall. Shut up. My man's Derrick Jones was out there doing wild shit.
And also, Derrick Jones went through KDs in one game. Also, 3 pair of KD 4s in one game. Elite shoot selection. Elite shoot selection.
Man. Our boy's nice. But we can switch over to the East to talk about our dream playoff scenarios over there. Danny, do you want to? Did you got one that you wanted to start it with?
Yeah, round 1, Heat versus Celtics.
I'd rather see him in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think beating them anywhere else just doesn't hold the same weight. But everyone wants to see it, though. So, yeah.
Heat Celtics would feed the family in round 1. And the Heat
wouldn't feed the family in round 1. That's only feeding one in round 1, and that's you. We needed Eastern Conference Finals. Who is going to win to go on to lose the finals part 4?
Well, it's going to happen either way.
If the Celtics do beat them, look, if the Celtics and them do meet in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Celtics go into the finals and lose, it's literally just going to be who's going to lose to the Western Winter Invitational every single year. Those two are just going to meet up. Who losing this time? But in all seriousness, like, I do want them to play in the playoffs, just not in round 1. Where are the stakes? Where's the energy? We need this for finals on the line. We need this to go to Jokic.
You know Jimmy will be there.
Don't worry. I'll tell y'all the energy. The energy is this.
Danny, do we want to talk about Jimmy Butler's last year's Eastern Conference Finals?
He didn't play that great.
Thank you. The way people talk about how Jimmy Butler plays against the Celtics, you would think this dude is Michael Jordan. He averaged 24. He averaged 24 points per game. Huh?
He has a 2K badge that like makes all the other players on the team better. I don't get what he does.
It's not because of him. It is not because of him.
He
averaged 20. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's because they have a top 5 coach in the history of basketball. It is not because they have James Butler. James Butler does not make Cody Martin.
It's more so Bam. What if I told you I was more so Bam?
It's
Bam.
Bam.
I'm with Chris.
Bam has more play in Caleb Martin becoming Klay Thompson for a series than Jimmy Butler does.
Yo, sometimes Caleb Martin turns into Steph Curry, not Klay Thompson.
He does. Look, Caleb Martin played amazing last year. I'm not doubting that. I'm also not saying Jimmy Butler is not the best player on that team. That's not. I'm just tired of people acting like he beats the Celtics by himself every single time. He did not win a single series last year by himself besides the Bucks. Well, not even the Bucks. Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin were phenomenal. Caleb Martin is responsible for the coldest celebration of the playoffs. So I'm just tired of people acting like he is this one-man army and that playoff Jimmy's real. He's a playoff riser, no doubt about it. But we need to stop acting like this man is a one-man army. He's got a top 5 coach in NBA history. He's a top 5 center in the NBA. He has some of the best shooting role players when the time comes. So don't look up his final stats, by the way. People forgot about that. But God, if it's 24-year-old Jason Tatum, we're going to be talking about it for the rest of the time. So
okay, on to you for your dream playoff scenario, because it's not Heat Celtics in round 1.
And that's not saying I don't want to play the Heat. I absolutely want the Celtics to play the Heat. Like 100%.
I have a weird feeling.
I need to see them.
I have a weird feeling yours is Celtics Sixers.
Just in May. No, that's not a dream. This is not a rivalry. Just remember that.
It's a fantasy for you. I know. You're like,
it's not a fantasy. We whoop y'all ass every year. I'm cool.
That's my point. It's a fantasy because you're like,
he's a finger licking good.
That's what I'm talking about. Finger licking good special.
But yeah, Michael Irvin's top 5. No, my dream playoff scenario in the East, it would be round 1, and this one's gonna be, and this is assuming Celtics or Sixers get healthy. I want Cavs, Sixers round 1. Here's why. Jared Allen, great rim protector. Joel Embiid is known for bullying that man. It would just be a good matchup. You know, while the Cavs do have those 2 good bigs, Joel Embiid, they're food to him. On to the guard play. It's Maxey and Hield now instead of Maxey and Melton. Shout out Melton. When he comes off the bench, that's going to be fire. But Hield and Maxey versus Garland and Mitchell. Garland and Mitchell obviously have the advantage, but it's a different story now. That series would be amazing. It'd be marvelous. You have 2 all-star level centers versus a top 2 center in the NBA, if not top 1. The MVP before he got hurt. This would just be this would be awesome. This would be one of the best first round series, if not the best. I think these teams stack up tremendously well. Nick Nurse versus JB Bickerstaff. That would be an awesome coaching mastermind going on right there. And I think it's going to come down. It could come down to the bench. Dean Wade, not off the bench, but I can't remember if he starts because I'm getting so caught up with their injuries. But Max Strus. So you got Dean Wade, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, Georges Niang. Apologies. And then for the Sixers, you got guys like D'Anthony Melton, Kelly Oubre. How's Tobias Harris going to play? I'm not even picking a winner. This would be the best 2 versus 7 matchup. Most likely, that's probably where they'll meet. 2 versus 7 since Celtics Nets. That was a banger. But despite that being a sweep, that was an awesome series. Like every game was just close and fun. So that would be mine. I have so much in the East because like I obviously watch the East a lot more than the West because of time zones, but that would be me. We can go on to Chris now.
Chris, and tell me why it is Magic Heat.
Unfortunately, it is not because I actually want the Magic to move on, and I think the Heat are just a team that just bothers people. So
they got too much experience for them.
Keep them far away, dude.
The Magic can't handle all that.
Keep them far away. Keep them dudes far away.
Too much turbulence.
But I will say my matchup, my dream matchup, and I don't even think it's possible to happen. I would love to see Pacers Knicks in the first round. And the reason why
opposite play styles.
Literally, that's why. Because I want to
hear him out on this for sure.
The Pacers try to limit the 3. For some reason, Knicks have DiVincenzo shooting 15 threes a game. Like that small tidbit. Jalen Brunson's going to have to do something. Is Julius Randle going to be back? Is Mitchell like just how that dynamic going to play out? And I think the addition of Pascal, that would be the time to show like how important that is. Because we all know playoff basketball slows down. The Pacers are going to have to slow their pace at some point. Like it's going to slow down just a little bit. And they're going to have to play a little more defense. It's just going to be a little different. And I think the Knicks are built for playoff basketball with their style of play and how they get, how slow they play. They're built for it, and the Pacers seem to not be built for it. So I would like to see just a clash of styles, nostalgic purposes. Knicks Pacers are play each other in the playoffs a bunch of times. So I think it's just real lit to have that rivalry be back. Spike Lee still be on the sideline. It'd be like the 90s all over again. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. And then like I said, just a swap of styles, swap of coaching styles. And the way Rick Carlisle coaches, he wants to take away the guy. Like he wants, he doesn't take away the guy. Like he let Luka and Kyrie they just go off. Y'all shoot as many shots as y'all want. I try to take everybody else away. So with the Knicks, I would like to see if he tries to take Brunson away, if they don't have Randall, how those additions going to play. How's Anunoby going to play coming off injury? He won't have that many reps before playoffs start. Bojan, how's he going to play? How those pieces going to fit in that new role? So I think that'd be cool to see and cool for nostalgia purposes too.
You know what? I hate the Knicks.
Why? I love Knicks are cool,
dude. They're the fans. I
don't
love
like anyone's fans,
dude.
They're all annoying.
The Knicks fans are probably the worst.
No one's the worst, man. Everyone's the worst.
No,
everyone sucks.
Their team's decent for once, and they're like, we're winning it all. We got Bojan.
Their team sucked, or their team was like decent, and they were out on the street saying "F Trae Young." Dude, these guys, they're just New Yorkers. All fan bases suck. Lakers fan base sucks. Clippers, Warriors, Celtics, Sixers. To be honest,
Orlando Magic fan base, they're pretty tough.
Hey, I don't know what interactions you have with Magic fan base. I won't argue with them on that one. I was gonna say current Bulls fans who have accepted reality, cool guys. Who know their team is in no man's land, but you got Kobe White. It's all cool. Kobe White, certified baller.
Baller. I love Kobe.
He's a baller. Look, I'm telling you, man. Look, if Tatum ever wants to dip for Boston, I'm with him, man. I need a reason to get out of here. These fans are annoying. They're crybabies, and it quite literally just pisses me off.
But if LeBron retires tomorrow, I'm happy because I hate being over here with the Lakers, bro. They're the worst people. Not even fans. They're the worst people.
What are you going to do when the Clippers draft Bronny and you have to go be a Clippers fan?
I won't be mad because they'll have those new jerseys. They're red jersey. I'm sorry.
You a reason to get a red Bron jersey? Yep.
Come on, man.
I would buy. You'll never see me buying a Lakers jersey. So I'm waiting it out, see where LeBron's going to go. Then I can finally get his jersey. Because
I did unfortunately buy one.
I'm not a big fan of Cavs jerseys.
I did.
And you'll never catch me wearing a Heat jersey either. So
good reason. I have every LeBron jersey, even St. Vincent St. Mary, so I had to get the Lakers one. I had to in my own brain because at some point I'm having like when he's done. But I swear I hate this Lakers jersey so much. Every time I look at it, I just smack my lips like.
I hate it's just like that bold. Okay, one, I just don't like the Lakers, but two, it's like, am I in the minority? Like those Kobe year Laker jerseys are like 1,000 times better. Like the 2010 Lakers. I don't like that 3D bolt. Like you're trying to go back to Showtime. I get it. You're not Showtime. You're LeBron James. You're just the Los Angeles LeBrons. That's it.
Literally, the white and blue jerseys
the Lakers no more.
With the cursive writing, those are kind of lit. The blue version of it though, not the white one.
Yeah, the Minneapolis ones, where 5 of their rings belong, except they decided to take them. So.
Oh, you talking about the Minneapolis one? I'm talking about the other one, the Jerry West version with the.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
The one Kobe had his own. Yeah, that was lit. Like that one.
But without further ado,
I was saying, do we have? You want to move on? Let's move on. Danny's got an NBA player for us, and we have to guess it. We have 20 questions to get it.
20 questions. Figure it out. See how much ball knowledge you can get it under.
Okay. So, Chris, do you want the first shot at it, or do you?
You can go first. I'm trash at questions. I find out, so I'm just piggyback off you.
Okay. Is he currently active?
He is currently active.
Was this player drafted in the last 5 years?
He was not drafted in the last 5 years.
Is this player older than 30?
This player is, I believe, older than 30.
Yeah, just bring up that basketball reference page.
Where's his age at?
It's there. Trust me.
Oh yeah, it's in here. He is older than 30.
He's older than 30. Cuts down the options.
Okay. Does this player play on a top 8? I'm sorry, top 5 Eastern Conference team right now?
He does not.
Okay.
Does this player play in California?
He does not.
Does not play in California. Older than 30. Okay.
How many questions is that? That's 5?
5.
Yeah. I'm keeping track.
Okay, does this player play for a top 5 Western Conference team?
He does.
Okay.
He doesn't play in California, so can't be the Clippers, and it can't no, and then it can be anyone else, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Kings
Or
Kings
it's
are outside top 5.
What's the top 6 right now? It's Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver, Los Angeles, and the Pelicans.
Pels, yep. So it's not
Okay.
Clippers. Oh, sorry, I can't talk back. I don't think. Oops.
Nah, you're good. We're all thinking here. Is this player a guard?
He's not a guard.
Okay.
Okay.
A 30-plus Western Conference forward or big man.
I mean 30 plus.
You said he was older than 30, right?
Oh, I think he meant like 30 points. I was like, what?
Oh,
no.
Does this player play for the Thunder?
This player does play for the Thunder.
I know it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We'll say there's only one dude who's like older
Literally.
than 30 on the team.
There you
Is
go.
it Gordon
There you
Hayward?
go. Yes, it is.
It's not Gordon Hayward.
It's not. Oh,
It's not G-Dub?
Nope.
Wow, it's not G-Dub? Oh, wow. Because there's just not a lot of options. At least 30-year-olds on their team, and not a lot of things are clicking.
This player
Oh,
Big Mike Biombo? Is
No.
it player Big Mike Biombo? Damn it.
Is it Kenrich Williams?
No.
Well, we're 11 questions in, and I guessed all the older people on that team that I can think of at least. Lou Dort ain't 30 yet, right?
know exactly
He ain't been in the league that long.
I know exactly who
Chris,
it is.
who is it?
Well, it's your
Mike
guess.
Muscala. It's Mike Muscala, right?
It is Mike Muscala, Sixers legend.
There we go. Shout out Moose, man.
I had a feeling it was either Gordon. When you said top, when it was right top 5 West Conference teams, I was like, you know what? I know it's not nobody on the Nuggets. I didn't think it was nobody on the Nuggets. Unless it was DeAndre Jordan, that would have got me. But you said not a guard.
Yeah, you could have asked if he played for any team in his career, and I would have been like,
yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mike Muscala, known journeyman, can't lie. He was
And
on the
Moose
Celtics, bro.
too.
I was a big fan.
Yeah, he
He's
can
just
shoot threes.
Moose is goated.
Moose is goated. Yeah, he's solid for sure.
Lakers legend Mike Muscala, by the way.
Yeah. Didn't y'all trade Zubac for him?
Sure did. That's all I'm about to say. Well, no, not y'all. They definitely traded Zubac for Mike Muscala.
Muscala's cool, but I was like, Zubac was young and he just came off like a really good stretch of games. I was like, why would y'all trade him?
He just couldn't catch, and they was like, "All right, he can't catch right now. Let's get him out of here. He can catch now, and he screens better. Like, what else do you need?"
I'll forever remember Christmas Day. LeBron went down with that injury. Lonzo, Kuz, Bi, and Zubac handed the Warriors, destroyed them. Without it was that team felt like super organic. Like it was just your old head, and then it was all your young talent, and they were 4th in the West, and it was like it wasn't coming easy. Ugh, it sucks, man.
Bro,
Not
I
a
just
good
wanted
vibe
them to make the trade and just, if they were able to just keep Ingram and move Kuzma, and I love Kuzma, but just if you could keep Ingram, you'd have had the third score you were looking for with Anthony Davis and LeBron, and then ouch.
I don't know. I don't know if they kept Kuzma for like a potential purpose, but like Brandon Ingram is younger than him, so like
the Pelicans just wanted it. The Pelicans didn't want Kuzma; they wanted Ingram. I remember that whole.
Oh, I thought they wanted one or the other, and the Lakers were like, "All right, well, we're keeping Kuz."
No, they wanted Ingram and they wanted Hart as a role player. I remember that vividly. They wanted both of those guys, and I think they were trying to throw Kuz in to keep picks, and they were just like, "No, we'll take Ingram and take the picks."
It's good to know that all these players ended up flourishing. Obviously, Lonzo's hurt, but BI, Fringe All-Star, Josh Hart, the
Best role player in
blue
NBA.
guy of blue guys.
Best.
What do you say?
He's the best role player in the NBA. Oh, wait. There is
We
Derek
got
White. that
Naz
does
Reed.
exist.
We got
There is
Derek White.
that does exist. But Josh Hart, though, I will say this. Josh Hart is the small forward guard version of Draymond Green. He does everything.
He's
he needs to do.
nice.
But he makes threes every once in a while. Like, he shoots better threes than Draymond.
Do you remember Summer League, Josh Hart, when
Best player in
he was
Summer League
like
history.
literally just out here torching everybody in like his third year of Summer League? Dude, it was hilarious. He had like 30 against. Dude, he was awesome. But without further ado, I think that's everything we got today. Again, another reminder, please like, subscribe if you're on the YouTube. And then if you're on audio platforms, 5-star rating, like, download. Again, sorry that this came to you a day and a half late, but things happen. It's 3 o'clock where I'm at. It's 4 o'clock where Chris is at. It's yesterday where Danny's at. I don't know how time zones work. I'm literally just a guy. So, you got anything to say before we get on out of here?
Nah, go Pookie LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be there Friday, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Oh, and I do want to say shout out to God Sham Guy for being a nice guy. When I went to the match game, he was just showing love to everybody sitting down. Him and Gennaro Pargo. So shout out to them for being good people and seeing a legend up close. A dude created a move that was top tier in my life so far. That was cool.
God Sham God.
Best name ever, by the way.
Shout out to him, man. He got 7'5" aliens busting out that move mid game on Defensive Player of the Year. So
there's another Victor on the way too. He has a brother. He's 6'8". I just seen it today. Cheating.
We got Nikola Topic on the way, brother.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Luka.
We got and then I can't remember his name for the life of me, but number 3 prospect in the 2024 class just committed to Duke with Cooper Flagg.
The big guy, but just be careful though. He's your average UConn center. If you know what that means, you know. He's your Alex Oriaki. He can't really do much. He can't catch, but he can block shots and dunk. So he'll.
But I don't think he's been playing basketball. I don't think he's been playing basketball for too long. He's been like in the NBA development system. He's got potential there.
He does.
So
he's playing with G League legend Carlick Jones over there in Sudan. G League.
Now you know the best. You know the best player to come up ever soon is going to be Rob Bob.
Rob Bob.
Who's that? The 7'7" kid in high school. Skinny dude.
No.
I never knew his
about
name.
The kid who went to Spire. You're talking about the kid who went to Spire. No, I feel bad for him, dog. He's just like too tall. Like he just looked like he hurts.
Yeah.
He was there. He was there when LaMelo went there. Except
Isaiah Jackson.
LaMelo was on the travel team, and Rocket Watts, and the gang.
Rocket,
I will never forget. Julian Newman's dad is like, LaMelo can't play in college. Rocket Watts is already committed. They're here to see you guys. No, they're not. Dog.
They're literally here to watch the game, brother.
they're here to watch LaMelo turn other people into D1 athletes. So, yeah.
There you go.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in from AP New Freezer, Coached by Migos, and DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next week.